guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited for today's video. It is going to be my June favorites and fails. Basically, I'm going to be talking to you about products that I fell in love with in the month of June, products that I didn't fall in love with in the month of June, and then all the products in between. So I like to structure these videos very similar to Samantha March, where I have like my fails. I have a middle category of products that I think are good but aren't favorites. Like, I think they're fine, but they aren't necessarily something that I would go out and repurchase. And then we have my like tippity top favorites that I fell in love with in the month of June. So if you're interested in seeing what products that I loved and didn't so much love this month, stay tuned. First, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I hope you'll consider subscribing before leaving today. I do normally post a minimum of 4 times a week, and yes, there's always construction noises in the background of my video, because why the heck not? This has been ongoing for months. But if the construction noises don't bother you all that much, I would love if you would consider subscribing before moving on today. And other than that, let's just jump into the video. All right, guys, we're gonna kick it off with my fails. I really just have 2 products to talk about in this category, and I have a few comments just to be fair when we talk about these. So first, I have from Sephora their, what is this? Their Lip Stories lipsticks, and I know a lot of people really like these, and I think honestly for me it may come down to shade on this, but the formula too is just, so this is the shade. I think the shade is really pretty, but because the formula is so slippery, it's like a very satin-esque sort of formula, very hydrating, but I get a lot of transfer and I just cannot trust this lipstick, and nobody likes a lipstick that they can't trust, which is why I am ranking this in my fail category. I wore this to dinner one night and I was like, Meh! And then I tried one more time, like a day I was getting ready to film, I put this on, and then like before I even turned the camera on, I had lipstick like in my eyelashes, and I was like, I can't do this. So this unfortunately didn't work for me. If you guys are fans of this lipstick, leave me a comment and let me know what your favorite shades are. I would be interested in trying like a more nudie shade that isn't as like deep as this, and maybe I would have better luck with that, or maybe I'm just, these are the lies I'm telling myself. But unfortunately, this one in the shade 36 Spring Break didn't work for me. Super cute packaging, so I'm really bummed that this didn't work out, and these are obviously more affordable because they're from the Sephora collection, but I would have to say this was a fail for me this month. I literally feel like when my hair is done, I can never, it like just never does what I want it to do. It's gonna bother me this whole video. This next product, are we serious? This next product isn't like necessarily like a fail, but I just wouldn't buy this and I wouldn't recommend this, which is a bummer because I love Kopari as a brand, and when I got a sample pack of this, I really liked it. But I feel like, so this is the Kopari Coconut Melt. It's $28, I think, for how much? 5.1 fluid ounces. So this is basically just like a coconut oil melt, which you can obviously just buy $6 coconut oil at the grocery store, and it's gonna work about the same. The one thing I appreciate about the Kopari Coconut Melt is that it doesn't hold that same, it's a little bit different consistency in that I feel like it washes off the face better. Sometimes when I use like a legit coconut melt or coconut oil, it's like you get that like film over your face that you literally have to like wash off very, not aggressively, but you have to like be conscious to wash it off with a washcloth. And when I'm using a makeup melter, I just don't want that extra added level of responsibility when rinsing that off. And I just feel like it makes the whole process of removing makeup a little bit messier than it has to be. With this, I don't feel like you necessarily get that. I just feel like I don't like the coconut oil feeling in general. And even though this isn't as thick as your standard coconut oil, I just feel like this isn't something that, normally I go through this phase with cleansing balms where I fall in love with one, I repurchase it, and then I get bored of it, so I at least go through 2. This one, I think I'm going to go through the 1, and then I'm going to pass, and I'm going to move on to something else. So if you guys have any recommendations, I think I'm probably going to pick up the new Huda Beauty one next from her Wishful line. I'm very interested in that. Or I could just default back to my Drunk Elephant. I've gone through 2 of those, and maybe I'll just go back to that one a 3rd time. That would be the most I've ever gone back to a cleansing balm. But yeah, this one just wasn't a favorite. I wouldn't necessarily say, again, it's like a fail product, but I did not love this, and I thought I was going to, so I was super bummed out. Sorry, you guys. I have one more product that I've got to consider this a fail. This is from Eva NYC. It's their therapy session hair mask. It comes in this big old giant tub, and I had finally finished off all of my hair masks. I typically prefer a deep conditioning mask over a conditioner, just because I have very thick, dry, and damaged hair. My favorites are the Briogeo Don't Despair Repair, and then I love the Biolage Hydra Source deep conditioning mask. Like, chef's kiss to that one. This just doesn't, like, I feel like this should just be like conditioner. It shouldn't be a deep conditioning mask, because it just didn't do enough to make my hair feel soft enough or conditioned enough or hydrated enough. It didn't do enough to make me feel like this was actually a hair mask. I don't know if that's going to make any sense to anyone at all, but when I want a deep conditioning mask, I want my hair to be like the smoothest, softest, most easy thing to brush out. Whereas sometimes with conditioner, as I'm like brushing through my hair in the shower, and again, this is because I have like severely damaged dry hair, I'll like brush through, and especially like right up here, it's like I can barely brush through my hair. So that's where I really like to focus my deep conditioning masks, where I get a lot of tangling for some reason, like right up here, even though I know you're supposed to like focus your conditioner on your ends. This just felt more like a conditioner to me and not a deep conditioning mask. This absolutely is not something that I would repurchase. I believe this retails for somewhere between $14 and $15. I picked mine up at Target. I do also believe that this is cruelty-free. You guys, I'm not committing my channel to being cruelty-free, but I am going to be trying to make more of a conscious effort to just pay attention to the brands that I am purchasing from and the values that they stand behind. So at least if I'm using a cruelty-free product, I do want to try and shout that out a little bit more. This, don't recommend. Which is going to segue us right into my sort of like fine products, but likely products that I wouldn't repurchase. Not necessarily products that I wouldn't recommend, but just for me and myself, one time is enough. Like one go at it with these products is enough, and not just like a one-time use, but like a finish it up and then I'll probably just be done with that relationship. So from Eva NYC, I have the Main Magic 10-in-1 shampoo. This is something that I won't necessarily say I will never go back to, but I also would not consider this to be a favorite shampoo. On the affordable end of things, and this is still pretty mid-range, again, I think this is like $12 or $14. On the mid-range price of shampoo and conditioner, I like this, and sometimes I don't want to pay $20 plus, $30 plus for my shampoo and conditioner. So that is a time I could see myself returning to this. I do think this does a really nice job of cleaning the hair. It suds up in a way that I really like, and it smells really nice. For some reason, the scent, I don't know why, but I feel like it reminds me, it doesn't smell like marshmallows at all when I smell it like this. But after using it, I feel like my hair has this like marshmallow scent, which probably would be a turnoff to a lot of people. But I always say this on my channel. This is a question I love to ask people, and if you want to leave your answer in the comments below, I would love to hear your guys' response. If you could only eat one meal for the rest of your life, you can have a meal and a dessert, no appetizer, just a meal and a dessert, what would it be? Mine 110% would be nachos with shredded chicken and queso, actually barbecue chicken nachos specifically, shredded chicken, barbecue sauce, rice, and like a little bit more of a spicier queso. That is like my end-all be-all for my favorite meal ever. And then for my dessert, it would hands down be s'mores. I have loved s'mores all of my youth and onward. I have this hilarious story of, we used to have a gas, I'm going off way on a tangent. We used to have a gas fireplace when I was growing up. So like obviously it's not an open fireplace, it's like the glass in front of it, gas fireplace. And I had this brilliant idea that my sister and I, my younger, more impressionable sister, she must have been like 4 or 5 at the time, We were gonna roast marshmallows. We only had mini marshmallows in our home at the time, and we didn't have sticks either, because naturally, why would we have sticks when we don't have an open fire? But we did have paint brushes. So, like the little ones that you do like watercolor art with. So I was like, oh, Hannah, like, let's stick mini marshmallows on the end of paintbrushes, and then we'll just like hold them by the gas fire, and this is absolutely gonna work. So I like remember I roasted mine. I ran upstairs for some reason, then I came back down, and my poor little, so young, so sweet sister was trying to roast her marshmallows and burned like her whole hand. She had like these huge blisters, and I felt so guilty. And I don't know what the point of this story was, other than the fact that like I've loved roasted marshmallows and s'mores in general my whole life. And for some reason, when I get out of the shower and I'm sniffing my hair, it smells like marshmallows to me. So it just makes me feel good. I think this is just a fine shampoo. I think like if you purchase this, you would probably really enjoy it. It does have something in argan oil, 10 benefits in one miracle formula. It is for normal to dry hair types. And again, I don't feel like this makes my hair feel any less dry. It makes it feel really clean. And then when I pair it with a deep conditioning mask that I like, not necessarily the one from this brand, but like the Briogeo Don't Despair Repair, feel really great about my hair. So again, I may return to this, but it isn't like a holy grail, like this is the only shampoo I'm going to be buying going forward. But I wanted to mention this. Again, I think this is a cruelty-free brand and definitely more mid-range prices. Like if you don't want to buy, like, what is it that I buy typically? Like Tresemme was a big one for me through college. If you want like a little bit bougier than that, but not like the Way hair care products or like Dry Bar, you could check this out. I think you might like this. Okay, I feel like after that long story, I need to speed it up a little bit. So I got the Tarte Micellar Magic Water in a BoxyCharm. This is fine. I'm not a huge proponent on needing a micellar water. I've mostly just been using this. I don't even know if this is eye safe, but I've been using it to help take off my eye makeup or like my lipstick. Not something I would repurchase because I just don't feel the need to have a micellar water in my collection. If I do like a double cleanse and I'm still feeling like I have anything on my face, sometimes I'll go in with a micellar water, or like I've been using it. I think I forgot to do spoiler. I'm trying to reset my tan right now, so I'm looking super patchy, but I will take this specifically when my neck starts to like fade away, and I'll like scrub this on my neck to get my neck tan off. And it's fine for that, but it's fine. From Elemis, I got the Superfood Cica Calm Hydration Juice in my BoxyCharm. So I have really been enjoying this. This is very hydrating on the skin. It is a little bit sticky, which I don't necessarily love super sticky products in my skincare, but I've really enjoyed this lately because I have had more irritated skin. I think just from wearing a full face of makeup and then wearing a mask over it and then breathing your own air, and I've had a lot of like really aggressive breakouts along specifically like up here, but then also my chin. So this is nice because Cica can be super calming, and then it is very hydrating. So I have really liked incorporating this into my skincare routine. I'm like a third of the way done with this. I just don't know that I personally would pay to repurchase this when I finish it. I think I can get about the same benefits from this as I could just pairing a hyaluronic acid with like just a, I don't know, like a hydrating serum or just like water. But I'm really happy to have this and to have gotten to try it. If I was in a situation where it was like the winter and my skin was super dry, this is something I would potentially consider repurchasing. Again, I think it's a really nice, great skincare product, but I'm constantly like cycling through skincare in my collection and getting so much skincare and trying to test so much skincare, but not test too much skincare at one time and still return to my like absolute holy grail skincare favorites, that sometimes it's really hard for me to justify purchasing a product unless it is truly holy grail status, and I just don't feel like this is holy grail status yet. Will I buy this again in the future? It's certainly possible, but it didn't become an absolute have-to-have favorite. Another product that I think is just fine is this one from Tarte's sister brand, Sugar Rush, and I have the shade Best Bud Peony. It is a lip balm. I have used quite a bit of this. It has a really pretty natural pink tint. I'll just put it on my lips. Why the heck not? And you need like a very small layer to layer the lips. It also smells really nice, kind of like milk chocolate. I just feel like the packaging is a little bit bulky for a lip balm. Potted lip balms are my absolute favorite. I'm definitely willing to use them. I love some of my other potted lip balms, but I think when I finish this, I prefer the fresh... Shoot, I don't have it sitting over there. There's a fresh one that was recently released, and it has a bit of a pink tint to it as well, and I just prefer that one over this. Fine product. Take it or leave it. When I finish this, I'm just going to be done with it. I feel like they're doing construction outside and somebody's mowing. So when you hear that, like, I'm so sorry. A couple more products that I found to be just okay. So from Lawless, I think this might be a shade thing because I do actually really like the formula on this. This is the Lawless lipstick in the shade Annie. Annie is the founder. And you guys, I love a pale lip, but I just felt like this just is like too pale and peachy pink for my liking. So I definitely do have to pair this with something on top of it to make it feel like I can work for me. There are some other very, very beautiful shades within this line, and I'm not lying. I really do want to pick up a couple other shades, even though these are $28. I like the formula. I do feel like, and again, this could be a shade thing, I noticed the butthole lip happening with this fairly quickly, and that could just be because the nude on me is such a stark difference. But I just wanted to point that out. Again, I don't think this shade is the best shade match for me. Could have done probably a nicer shade, but I do think the formula is really nice, and I would be interested in trying out other shades before I gave my full opinion on whether or not it will eventually potentially become a holy grail status just in a different shade. But as of this point in time, I can only tell you that it's a fine product for me. Again, I like the shade range that's offered. This is definitely more of a satin sheen, like it's more of a hydrating formula. Sheared out, this would be really pretty if you tried to do like a blotted lip. Very, very pretty. It's definitely a comfort matte sort of finish. It's not too draggy on the lips like when you try and put it on, but it definitely has a matte sort of feel, but still a little bit of a shine to it, which I really appreciate. So formula wise, I really like this. I have got the butthole lips with this, and I don't feel like I picked the best shade for me personally, which is why right now I am ranking it in the middle category. Maybe someday I'll pick up a different shade and it will be in a favorite, but as of right now, this is the highest I can rank it. Another product that probably comes down to shade for me is this one from Jouer. I got this in, I believe, the Sun Safety Kit. It's just a little mini, and it's in the shade Skinny Dip, and I've been wanting to try this for a long time. Whew, that formula, it just feels so, I hate to use the word buttery because I feel like everyone says that, and as listeners you're just like, okay, well, like, does it really feel buttery? Because I've been in that situation before where I'm like, okay, that's like a trend word that everyone just uses, but really this does not feel powdery at all. It feels almost like a cream to powder sort of feel. It's just so soft. So here it is right here. It is a stunning warm gold sort of shade, and I love this, especially when I am super self-tanned, but I have to be very careful with the shade of my skin at the time because this can be too deep for me, which is totally fine. There are shades that are too deep for me. There are shades that are too light for others. I think that there should be so many options for so many different skin tones. I'm just sharing that this at times can pull a little too deep for me. I love the formula. Not sure if they have like a warm toned pink shade, but if they did, I would definitely be interested, especially in a mini. I love the cute mini packaging. If you can, I don't know if you can purchase this on its own as a mini, but if you can, I would definitely recommend. I think this would be a really easy one to travel with if you feel like the shade would work well for you. So formula wise, it's a definite hit for me. It's just shade doesn't always work for me, so it didn't become a tippity top favorite. And then the last product I have to mention in my fine category is the Fenty Beauty Moroccan Spice palette, and I was actually pleasantly surprised by this palette because I did try her snappable 6-pan palettes earlier this year, and I thought that that formula was truly like, now that I think back, I think it was like leaning towards really bad, terrible. Just really dry and powdery. I feel like I convinced myself I liked it in the beginning, and then I was like, girl, like, you don't have to like everything from Fenty. I've had a lot of hits and a lot of misses from Fenty, but overall, I don't know what it is about the brand that just like keeps like everything I want to try, even though I know sometimes some things don't work for me. And I love when you find a brand like that you're so brand loyal to, that even though you know like, hey, like there's things that don't work in that line for me, but there's also things that are like absolutely incredible from the brand. I can just really appreciate that about a brand. I don't know why I was going off on that tangent. So this is what the palette looks like. It's super fun. I will say I feel like I don't necessarily get all of the mattes that I would love to have in here to create looks that I'm personally comfortable with, but this has definitely forced me to step outside my shell a little bit. I think I've tried most of the shades in here with the exception of the most bright red shade, and then also this like slate gray blue shade I don't believe I've tried. I think that the formula of the shimmers in this palette are really interesting and unique. They're again kind of almost slippery to the touch, and they're definitely a little bit more of like a sheer shimmer formula, which I definitely don't mind, especially when I'm looking for like a more muted look, work appropriate look. We all know I like to talk about my work appropriate looks. And I've been like, I wouldn't say like impressed, but kind of impressed based on my previous experience with Fenty shadows. I was honestly kind of concerned that I was going to try this and just despise it like I did those Snap palettes, but I'm really excited to keep this in my collection and keep playing with it. There's some really fun pops of this whole top row of shimmers almost have like multi-dimensional aspects to them. Maybe I'm just making that up, but like if it hits the light right, it's like really intense and I think very, very pretty. So I absolutely am excited to play around with this some more. Would I purchase this with my own money, or would I have it? No, I did get this in a BoxyCharm, but I have been enjoying it. I have been liking it. I feel like you probably don't necessarily need this palette. I feel like you can likely find most of these shades throughout the rest of your collection. However, I do again think the top row of shimmers specifically, or the shimmers throughout, have a pretty unique formula, and I do think the color story is kind of fun in that it's like you have some reds and purples and blues and then some like shimmery greens. I think you get a nice variety of shade options from this palette, so I think that this was pretty good. Okay, they're like leaf blowing the dirt out of the side. I don't know what they're freaking doing. Shoot, I have one more. I have hair nylon first and foremost. Okay. I have one more product I forgot that I wanted to mention in the fine category. It's the iconic London Illuminating drops, and the only reason I'm putting this in the fine category as opposed to a favorite is just because I do not reach for liquid highlights that often, so it would be unfair for me to say like, oh my god, I'm going to use this all the time. However, when I am looking for a very intense liquid illuminator, and again this is going to be over like mini swatches, like that is so intense. And mostly what I've been doing is if I'm doing like the reverse foundation sort of look, I will pop this onto my cheekbones before I go in with foundation and then blend it out, and then put like a lighter foundation over this, and then sometimes if I want to I'll tap even a little bit more on, but like the smallest amount goes the longest way. So what I do is I literally don't even like do a dropper of it. I will like dip it in, brush the sides off, and then just like tap this onto my face without even hitting the dropper. So it's just like this, and I will do 2 to 3 small dots, tap it out along my cheeks, and you get the most beautiful intense highlight, but it looks more natural because it is a liquid based product, and it is just absolutely stunning. I feel like you could also mix a small amount of this in like a more mattifying foundation. Like perhaps I should try this with my Wander Beauty foundation to see if it can just glow it up a little bit. I'm gonna try that tomorrow. I am going to try that tomorrow. But I almost didn't even keep these. I got these in a BoxyCharm. I almost put them in my giveaway pile, but I'm really excited that I gave these a try. It's something that is, as I grow with my makeup preferences and become more interested in liquid and cream products, I would potentially even consider purchasing these in another shade, like if they had a pink shade. You guys know I love my pink highlights. But because of my preferences, I just could not justify putting this in an absolute favorite category. So then moving into my favorites, I have not a ton of makeup favorites, but I have some skincare and hair care. So I want to start with these 2 skincare products. I recently posted a video of like a brand review of the entire Glow Recipe line. So I'm not going to drone on about these. I will link that video in the cards in case you were hearing a little bit more about these products. But I have fallen in love with the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow PHA and BHA Pore Tightening Toner. I absolutely have noticed a difference in the texture and like tightness and smoothness of my face when using this. But this does not make my skin tingle. It does not make my skin irritated at all. At first, the scent of this threw me off a little bit. It does have like an earthy, like watermelon mixed with like almost like aloe vera scent. But now I've just grown to like really like the scent. And I honestly, when I purchased this product, I did not think that this was going to be something that became a favorite. I just purchased it because it was the last product I needed to review from the line. But I've been super impressed, and I absolutely will be repurchasing this when I finish it. I also do feel like you get a really fair amount of product. I've been using this straight for the last three and a half weeks, and this is the amount of product I've used. Also, wanted to point this out. Normally I will put a toner on a cotton pad and then rub it on my face. With this, it is a little bit more gloopy. I don't know if you'll be able to see if I pour it out, but I just pour this onto my hands, and it is a little bit stickier, and then I'll rub them together and just pat it on my face. And I feel like that is the best way of application, at least for me and my preferences. But I love this, you guys. If you feel like you have sensitive skin but you still want something with like PHA or BHA, check this out, because I had no irritation, and sometimes I definitely do notice a tingling with specific toners. The Ole Henriksen Glow 2.0 Dark Spot Toner, way too intense for me. Even the Youth to the People Kombucha Toner, I noticed some tingling, and I had to be really careful about how many days I was using that in a week. This I use every single night with no irritation. So I highly recommend checking this out, especially if you feel like you have enlarged pores and are looking to tighten that up a little bit. I think that this will make a big difference for you. And then also the Glow Recipe Banana Souffle Moisture Cream. So this is supposed to be calming and hydrating, and this definitely has helped my skin feel a lot calmer. I feel like it's just like made my skin less irritated and less red. Again, I've just been dealing with some skin things, and I think it's because I wear a full face of makeup with a mask over it. But this just makes my skin feel calm and hydrated in the morning. This is a very interesting texture, and at first I did not think I loved this. I will say the packaging is a little bit annoying because it's like it's like a, I don't know, a watery slash slippery consistency kind of, but it smells so good. It just has a really nice light banana scent, and it sinks into the skin really quickly. So I didn't think it was going to be hydrating enough for me at first, and if I'm being honest, I don't think it'll be hydrating enough for me in the winter time. I obviously rotate through my moisturizers and which moisturizers I'm using based on the season, just because I do deal with dry skin. But as a summertime go-to, I'm in love with this. All right, you guys, I have more hair care to talk about, and I was really surprised by this. So I have 3 products from Wow, Color Wow. I think their brand is Color Wow. All 3 of these were sent to me through Octoly, and honestly, when I saw these, I didn't even think I would get approved to have these sent to me, and I really was like, like, I don't know, am I really gonna like these? So I have their Color Security Conditioner and Shampoo. The Ultimate Dream Clean Sulfate-Free Shampoo and Conditioner leaves no residue behind to dull color, weigh hair down, or impede hair growth. I have not been this blown away from a conditioner in a really long time. Normally, I feel like I'll go on with a conditioner these days and I'm like, oh, no, like I need to also use my deep conditioner. Not with this. This makes my my hair feel so smooth, hydrated, and healthy. I have been so impressed, and paired with this, I really like it. I love the scent of these too. I feel like this leaves like a lingering scent in my hair for like days after. I'm horrible at describing scents, but I was so impressed. I don't know where you purchase this other than potentially the brand's website. I'll leave a link for you guys down below. And again, these were gifted to me, but I'm highly considering repurchasing these after I get through them, because I have not been this impressed with a set since my Biolage Hydrosaurus like when I found that set. So very impressed with these. And then you guys, I also have this Wow Style on Steroids Performance Enhancing Texture and Finishing Spray. So when I first used this, I had like taken my braids out or something, and I was like, oh, I should just see like if what this does. Hold on, let me see if it'll like do it justice. This just adds so much volume. I'm gonna look crazy now. It adds so much volume and texture to the hair. If you struggle with losing your curls early, if you struggle with volume, if you struggle with like needing more texture to your hair, I highly recommend this. I was so impressed with this. I'm not sure the price on this and how it compares to like the IGK Beach Club Texture Spray or the Living Proof one, which are two of my other faves. But if it's cheaper, I'm definitely going with this in the future. And even if it's not, I am just so impressed with what this does. Like, I will also spray this on before I curl my hair, and I just love what it does for my curls. Today's like not the best example. I did not do a great job of curling my hair. I didn't go for it 100% because I wanted to sit down and start filming. So I just sporadically curled sections. But I have been so impressed with this, and again, I really wasn't expecting to be. If you guys are interested in hearing any more reviews on anything from this Color Wow brand, I do think there are quite a few other products from them that they are offering still on Octoly. So if you want me to see if I can get any more of those to review for you guys, let me know. But I have been very impressed with everything I've tried from this brand. Definitely shocking, wasn't expecting to, but definitely wanted to mention these. All right, the air blowing is getting closer. All right, you guys, I just have two more things to mention. I can't remember if I mentioned in my May favorites the wet, or the Kosas wet lip oils. Holy smokes, I absolutely died for these. These are like my new favorite like lip gloss hybrid. So I just recently picked up the shade Jaws, which I can't wait to wear. Can't wait to wear on 4th of July. I feel like this is going to be like the most beautiful red popsicle lip sort of effect. And these are fairly pigmented, but so comfortable. Here, let me put this one on right now. This was in the shade Malibu. And I mentioned in my Sephora haul video, I'm not sure if that's gone up yet, when I purchased this, I was considering just purchasing the whole range of Kosas lip oils because I am so obsessed, and I also really just love Kosas as a brand. I don't know what it is. Kosas brand review is coming. I just have one other product I wanted to order that I'm waiting to arrive, and then we are doing a full brand review on Kosas, and I cannot wait. But I know that these are expensive. They're $27, which is outrageous for a lip oil. I would not say they're the most long-lasting lip oil either. Like, please don't get misguided on that. They don't last all day. I would say I have to reapply every hour, hour and a half. But they are so nourishing on the lips. They are so comfortable. It doesn't really even feel like you are wearing like a lip gloss. It just feels like your lips are just like juicy and hydrated. It's not sticky at all. It is such an amazing product. I am obsessed. I want to get the like clear one next, I think in Jellyfish. I might go to Sephora and pick that up today. I might. But yeah, and then the last product that I want to mention, so I have a product from Nude Sticks, and it's actually in the shade Sweet Peach Peony that I want to talk about, but I cannot find it anywhere. It is such a beautiful shade. I need to purchase that. Next order on either Ulta or Sephora, I am buying that. But I just grabbed the shade J Mama just so I could show you. I think these are the same formula. It's a very like glossy, glowy sort of formula, and then you just like tap it out onto your cheek. This is also a really pretty nude shade, and I've just been so impressed with this formula from Nude Sticks. This is their gel color lip and cheek balm. I really only prefer this as a cheek product as opposed to a lip product, but I think it's so beautiful, and Nude Sticks is a brand that I'm definitely interested in delving more into, diving more into. Leave me your comments. I feel like I've asked this before. Leave me your comments. Let me know what your favorite shades are. I already know I need to get, I think, Halo Scope. I want to get the highlighter. And then is it Bronzed Bondi? That's like the contour, the bronzing stick. I definitely want to pick that up. And then a full size of Sweet Peach Peony. But if you have anything else to recommend, please do let me know. Faith from Faith's Makeup Corner always posts about nude sticks, and I'm like, girl, like, you are beautiful. I love your recommendations. So she is like just like driving this inner like thing inside of me that really wants me to dive more into nude sticks. So Faith, if you're watching, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what your favorite shades are, what you think I need to try first. Other than that, you guys, that is going to wrap it up for this month's favorites and fails and those in between. Leave me a comment down below. What were you loving this month? What were you hating? And what products did you think were just meh? Just okay. I would love to hear from you guys. Other than that, thank you so much for sticking around to watch my channel and for supporting my channel, to watch my video and supporting my channel. And I will catch you in my next video.